Okay, hey guys, this is BEBE872 and this time we'll talk about the main meta for set 8.5 and exactly what you're supposed to do. Now, we have to talk about history first. Usually at first, when people first play PvE, people used to spam Annie Alistar into either Spellslingers or like Duelists because Oxforce Hearts and Oxforce Duelists and Oxforce Spellslingers were too strong. So people began to figure out like decks that are actually very strong against that, and that's actually the very key factor of this video. The deck that is strong against this type of Spellslinger, Twisted Fate, like a Nico, Asol, like a backline mostly, is to just go for where's it at? Where's it at? Let me show you right here. This guy right here. Okay, just pick any hacker, guys. You go for LeBlanc, you go for Pike, you go for Shen. Just pick any hacker and go for any carry that can use hackers, right? If you just go for a hacker, that by itself counters Twisted Fate, Nico, Jhin, almost half of the meta decks that first started off in PvE. And the decks that can use that the most is what? You can go for like a hacker into like a Lulu 3-star. You can go for hacker into like a Draven 3-star. You can go for hackers into Camille as well too. Camille's not that weak either. And you can also go for hackers into our big doggo here, Warwick. So that's the reason why all these Warwick decks are popular, because Warwick itself isn't really that strong, but hackers right now counters 90% of the decks that exist already in the current meta. So if you want to climb in set 8.5, I do recommend any variation of hackers. That's still pretty good. So when people first started playing set like 8.5, most people just went for 4 cost 2 stars. It could be Nyla, Asol, Aatrox, and a bunch of like random stuff. Is strong, yes, but as I keep playing on into meta, if you can't go for like level 9 and spam 5 cost 2 stars, instead of going for level 8 for 4 cost 2 stars, it's usually better to go for a reroll deck. So especially if the hero album is 2 or 3 cost. So amongst the reroll decks that I seem to perform the best is number 1 is Pike. Going for like a Pike 3 into a Jhin hybrid, like a Riftwalker like composition is very good. Amongst the other carries are mostly 2 cost carries. For should be Malphite. Rock solid Malphite is still god tier, especially with Vex as a backline carry. Malphites in this set don't really like die that easily as well too, so go for like a rock solid Malphite, not that bad as choice as well too. And another one would be Draven reroll, Camille reroll. Israel's weak though, I don't really recommend Israel too much. Fiora's also relatively weak too. I think duelists are only strong if you get all 3 cost 3-star duelists as well too, so I don't really recommend like a Fiora too much. But I do recommend the options that I did mention earlier. Especially Draven right now seems to be very difficult to deal with if you put the hackers in. So I do recommend Draven very much as a main like carry potential. So try to consider reroll decks more, especially amongst the 2 and 3 cost carries. But if you don't have a reroll deck angle, the deck that you want to go for is to be this guy right here. Where is he? We're gonna look for him here. He's almost up there. Here. Jhin. Jhin is the carry that you want to go for if you do not have any clear direction amongst the 4 cost carries. Spellslingers are nice and all, but they do require a lot of high rolling. You gotta get John there early. You gotta get all the 4 cost 2 stars early. So if you want a normal, like very consistent performing comp, you do want to go for Jhin. You want to go for 3 Riftwalkers to get that Zac that's frontline. Jhin does a lot of damage. You can also add in a bunch of other cards like Viego for Renegades, Alistar for like Oxforce, Echo for like an Age as well too. So you got a lot of value, you got a lot of tank value, buying you all that precious time in the front. And you got Jhin shooting with the 80 damage. If you put an Asol in, that's magic damage. Vex also has a decent amount of magic damage as well too. So the composition is very versatile. So you either go for like a Jhin Renegades, or you either want to go for a reroll deck. So these 2 type of variation of playstyles should have the highest win ratio in the current like meta. And if you don't get an angle to go for these decks, you go for the rest. You go for like Spellslingers, Duelists, maybe you got some Duelist angle along the way. But I do recommend for the players that are playing at 8.5 but feel a bit lost, because I also felt a bit lost at the beginning as well too, and a lot of like ex-challenger players do feel very lost at the beginning. All you want to do is just abuse hackers. Just play hackers, get a free victory. It's gonna work out well. I will show and raise more videos regarding like each deck and strategy and future uploads as well too. So I hope this video was of service to you. See you guys next time.